Du coup, Mathieu, je passe à toi
So I switched to French once again. It is interesting to have you with us because you have a different point of view, because you work for the French embassy, and so you can see things from a cooperation point of view as well. As I said, you were before in South Africa and you worked over there on two networks, one oriented on women entrepreneurship, for farmers, if I am not mistaken. Now you are in Senegal. In Senegal, you created an entrepreneur network which work really well, which is Teranga Tech, more oriented on tech, clean tech, agri-tech, fintech, all the words we can put the tech at the end of, and you also manage the Pan-African network for entrepreneurs. So I'd like you to give us some information of the challenges that you might have seen during this creation and the importance of entrepreneurship to respond to these challenges, and what is the role of cooperation and French cooperation, namely, that decided to invest into entrepreneurship in Africa. Thank you very much to you, Raphael. Thank you very much, Ellen and David, who already said really a lot. It gave us a lot of food for thought. Of course, the main problem is the lack of job, lack of work, and the capacity of the labor market to respond to this need. In this particular context, I there are two things: the capacity of the companies to recruit through their development, and the capacity to the skill to imagine new companies to be created. That's why we put the accent in the development of entrepreneurship, where there are particular demographic situation. Youngsters still have their future to build, so it's something really interesting to tap into. Everything, of course, respond to major challenges. What David said, namely, we do not want to be helped to be aid, but we want to create companies to create value and to create business. I'm sorry, I think we lost Mathieu. They have a fundamental role facing opportunities which are quite important on the continent. To give you some idea, the access to energy and energy transformation, access to water and development of access to water, the growth and the management of waste, the food safety, and so the development of a sustainable agriculture, which is still productive to respond to a demographic growth, which is important. So we see the possibility to intervene not only France, with all our European partners, we work together. There are important work that have been done by our friends in Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, UK. So we are not working alone. We try to work together and to coordinate, because there are multiple actions that we can implement. So the problem there is to better articulate our action to avoid redundancies. So what has been done in this last year, for instance, 3.5 billion euro invested in the African continent. This has given us the possibility to the financial system to respond to entrepreneurship. David said it. Funding mechanisms are different and multiple, so we need to think about new strategies for entrepreneurship and try to structure the network of business angels and venture capitalists and to organize the investment that they made. Once again, David underlined that there is another major challenge when we talk about entrepreneurship is this skill to support entrepreneurs. Ellen said it as well. So the skill, the capacity to support entrepreneurs. So how can we get them to get more professional, to professionalize themselves? There is a challenge for professionalization of these structures. There have been actions that have been carried out for Europe with Africa. There are free labs. There are several situations. We do it in Gambia with the REA project, but we also try to support the structures that support entrepreneurship. I see Cindy here, for instance, that take part to our projects. The objectives of the REA is to support the entrepreneurs network, to facilitate their inception, their creation, to support them, and to create services that they can use, and to introduce them to other network, European mainly. There have been several ways to do that. We've had incubators, we had other solutions, and not only companies network, but this is one of the major things that we do. Why is that important? Because that allows to everybody to understand the job of others and to consolidate. So we invested in this consolidation in South Africa on agriculture. Of course, this is quite self-evident. There is a long list in South Africa that brings us to think about the emergency of the farming system for the weakest population that are in this business, and the female and women entrepreneurship, because we know that this is quite high, but it has a hard time developing, and the access to funding is one of the paramount levers that we can use and leverage to support and to develop women entrepreneurship. This represents at the moment only 2% of the world entrepreneurship. So you see the difficulties they have to tap into the market. So we work to support initiatives that seem to be interesting. Women in Africa, women investment capital. So we work in this and working throughout the value chain. So we try to support really precisely entrepreneurs and not a large cohort of entrepreneurs. We created tools and incubators to help them. And the component on which we want to focus and insist is the structuring of the investor network and the visibility of the entrepreneurial network in Senegal by the investors, business angels, impact investors, and so on and so forth. And we are thinking of a pilot project in Senegal that we hope we will be able to upscale and implement in other countries. Thank you. Thank you very much for having raised this question of the value chain, because it's true that when we look at entrepreneurship, we are not only talking about entrepreneurs, we are talking about all the stakeholders around them. And Helen said that as well. You also talked about this question of investments and visibility of entrepreneurship by by investors. So the support has to be done throughout the value chain, because otherwise, if there is a weak link in this chain, this will not work.